Alright, so I got the chance to watch all 5 of the shorts for live actions to win the Oscar. I probably know what's gonna win, but that is not the one I want to win. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing the 5 live action shorts. And like I said before, I have a guesstimation of what is going to win, and it's not what I really want to win. But you know what? Let's just jump into it, and I'll tell you in the order in which I saw it. All right. So the first one they showed was a movie called The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent from Croatia. So this is a pretty simple premise. They're on a train. Someone doesn't have paperwork, and they're going to go in a circle, and some guy's like, I will stop them from taking you away. But he doesn't. Hence, the thing is, the man who could not remain silent. But the twist is, someone else speaks up. And this is the shortest of the group, hands down. And unfortunately, this is one of the weaker ones, too. Yes, I understand the message of, you're going to say some shit before shit really goes down. And when the shit really goes down, you kind of curl up in a ball and nope. I got to watch it for myself. And yes, I understand that premise. I truly do. But when it ended, you're just like, oh, that's it. It's like I have to watch the nightly news to do that every day when I watch someone get thrown in front of a train, or someone's getting raped in Philadelphia and someone's just watching. Bystanders, pull out the phones, pull out the phones, pull out the phones. And so maybe I was just expecting more from this one, but to me, yeah, it just didn't connect to me for me whatsoever. So the next one on the list is one from India and USA called Anuja. So this is a story about a girl who's working in a sweatshop in India, and she has an older sister, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do because that's all they have. But the younger girl is very good at math, and now she has to decide, will she stay in the factory and kind of work in the front office with the guy, with all the other girls, or will she go take this exam to try to go to a boarding school for girls? And this stretches about a good 20-ish minutes about what they're going to do. And I really did like this one. I liked the grittiness of this. I liked that you actually saw, a bad part of another country. Yes, you could watch a bunch of Indian movies and it's nice and flashy. And that's why I kind of also like when you watch American movies sometimes, like the whole Nomad Land, where not every place in America is like, sea to shining sea. There are some shitty parts, same like every country has it, right? And this just shows like the damn part of it, where it's like the behind the scenes that some stuff is just not pretty, but people still survive, and people complaining about first world problems when you look at these, even though so it's just like, it's very heartfelt movie, and it's good. It's good. I think it had the right story, the right acting, and just the right message overall. So in order right now, to me it goes Anuja, and then The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. The third one was called I'm Not a Robot, and I was not expecting this to be so much fun. And I think this is from the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. But it's all about a girl who's like, computer, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden it's like the whole robot thing where it's like, I'm not a robot. There's the subway, there's the subway, there's the subway. Click, you failed. You failed. You failed. And she does these tests, and she realizes something at the end of the film. And yes, I'll say the first half of this movie is a lot better than the second half of this film. But it was a overall just fun experience where I'm like, yeah, this is fun. And I really dig what it was trying to do with the humor and just the overall aspect of like where we're going out in society. You can compare this to other movies that are coming out recently, but I think I'm a Robot, I think I liked it so much because with a lot of these movies now, these short films, they're all going to have a political message, political message, political message, political message, political message. And it was just fresh to not have a political message and a short story to actually get in the best options for live actions. All right, the next one that people think is going to win is Alien. And oh my god, this is the most propaganda, just check all the boxes to make the fucking filmmakers feel good type of message, right? All right, so people bitched at me for not doing research about other movies. So I was like, fine, I'll do a little bit of research on this one. And you know what? So this was released in Australia in 2023. Not the end. It's like January of 2023. Okay, so you put that in your mind, right? And this whole message about, a family in New York, and she's white. He's from like El Salvador. Well, not from, but you know what I'm saying. But he's from Queens. You want to put it that way. His family's from El Salvador, migrated. He's applying for a green card. He has a daughter. They have a daughter, and they're going through the process. And while they're going through the process, ICE is going through his facility and rounding people up. And so at the very end of this doc, it talks about like ICE goes through these green card centers and they grab up migrants. And I was like, okay, let me Google this. I couldn't find a true news story that this has happened. Like, there was nothing. If this was such a horrific thing that was happening, MSNBC, CNN, NPR, AP, BBC, The Guardian would be fucking on this white on rice. And I knew it was going to be such a lefty propaganda bullshit film. When it first started with the company, it was like lefty. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Anyway, like I said, they check off the boxes. Okay, green card holder, check. Family, check. Daughter, check. And there are all these check boxes. And like at a point, they start to go over the top. Oh, Trump on the TV, check. Which is kind of weird since this is filmed in 2023, but it's getting for the Oscar nomination now. And you're thinking, wait a minute. Who was president in 2023? Interesting. And who was called the deporter-in-chief who did more? Oh yeah, that was Obama. So it's just so fucking hysterical that the hypocriticalness of the shit like this, and that's why it just started like getting like, oh, hammer on the head, hammer on the head, hammer on the head. And then of course the whole point at the very end is, he's doing the interview, he thinks he did well. And at that point, there would have been communication between ICE and the people behind the counter and be like, yeah, he's in the room and he's actually getting his green card things right now and he's going through the process. So of course they just ump it to the 15th fucking 100th degree and they try to make it like, oh, ICE is the bad guy, ICE is the bad guy, ICE is the bad guy. Well, is ICE the bad guy that's trying to get the rapists, the murderers, the drug traffickers, the people that are like terrorizing other civilians? Like, really? It's like, you see stories in Boston where it's like a Puerto Rican's like high-fiving the ICE people because they're like, thank you for taking this guy that's so dangerous out of our community. So it's like baffling where it's just like, we love to be the hypocriticalness of this side of it. And like I said, it's like, it was just so dumbfoundingly stupid and like so political that to me, it was bad. To me, this is the worst one hands down, but it's going to win. You know for a fact something like this is going to win just because of the politicalness of it. They check all the boxes, and I was kind of laughing at this one. I was laughing at how extreme it got of like, no, this is some one-sided shit. And like I said, if this was truly happening nonstop in green card interviews, there would be news stories galore instead of, I Google it and, you're just reading. They're like, it happens. It can happen. It can happen. Then like something that says for illegals to get away from ICE. It's like, that's some illegal shit, AOC. So overall, I hated Alien. It was propaganda through in and throughout. And they love to tell one side of the story. And I'm not saying plenty other movies, left, right, center, tell one side of the story. But this is the most predominant one side of the story. And for me, okay, so right now the order goes, Not a Robot, Anuja, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, and Alien. The last one, The Last Ranger, is the best one. This one is from South Africa, is the best one, hands down. It's about the poachers during the COVID time period where, usually you get tourists to go on safaris and they're struggling right now to, give money to the local economy with this one. But they're really trying to make sure poachers don't kill or take the horns of rhinos. Blew me away. The kid actor was fucking phenomenal. All the acting was phenomenal. The story itself was brutal. And I didn't know it was based on a true story. And it was a true story. And you're just like, I was almost on the verge of tears on this one. It was directed so well. Acted superbly. There is no competition, in my opinion. When The Last Ranger was done and the credits were rolling, I said, that's the best one. But then I look at the odds, that's in last place. How the fuck is The Last Ranger in last place when the acting was the best one? The cinematography, the best one. The story itself about poaching animals. This is like, it's horrific shit, right? So it was cream of the crop, best short story, hands down. So for me, my vote for best Oscar, if I was in that pool, would be The Last Ranger. Not even like, oh, what's second? No, it's not even close for me. It's literally The Last Ranger. And I wouldn't even have to think about it again. So my order goes, like I said, Last Ranger, I'm Not a Robot, Anuja, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, and then Lien or Alien. But God, that one was such some propaganda shit. All right, since for these short stories, they're not really on Rotten Tomatoes, so let me go to Letterboxd and see what the Letterboxd score is and see how it compares to my rating. So I'm going to go to my list because I did review these last night about my diary. So I think that's the easiest thing so I remember. So like I said, Alien, I thought it was trash. So that one has a 3.6. I might be the only one that gave it a half a star. Horrible. And then The Man Who Not Remain Silent, that got a 3.6 as well. Okay. Then I Am Not a Robot is a 3.5. Okay. Now we know that what the audience thinks. Anuja, I'm probably saying that wrong because I'm an idiot. That is a 3.4. So that one is actually in last place. Interesting. And to me, The Last Ranger is the first place. 3.5. So, yeah. So they are going with Alien or The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. No, those were the two worst ones. Bar freaking none. So, what do you guys think? Chase Hawk here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Thanks, Bluetontopia. You Blue Tony. Say watch for a great day. I can watch this tape tomorrow, week from a month from a year from every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And yeah, just let me know down below.